Isn't this beautiful?
It's absolutely stunning. Welcome back to the Upper Geyser Basin. That's Old Faithful Inn at the background. That's Old Faithful Lodge. And right over here is a point where we could take one of three trails. We could go down this way and then take a trail up to the top. You can maybe be able to see some people up there. That's the observation point for Old Faithful. You can also take this trail and walk past a whole bunch of geysers, including Grand and Turban and Vent Geyser. This here takes you past Blue Star Spring, but basically only goes as far as the parking lot after following the Firehole River for a while. If you take a look at a map of the area, which I'll drop in over here, you'll see that we're in the southeast corner of the Upper Geyser Basin. You'll notice where Old Faithful is, Old Faithful Inn, Old Faithful Lodge, and we're now starting to follow the Firehole River. Most people come here to see Old Faithful, but there's so much more to this area than just Old Faithful Geyser. Old Faithful Inn is one of the great buildings in the national park system. Unfortunately, it's closed this year. And then Yellowstone has about half of the world's active geysers, and almost 150 of them are located right here in this 1 square mile area in the Upper Geyser Basin. This is Blue Star Spring. Notice the bacteria mats coming down amongst all that center. What happens is, as we saw with Blue Star Spring, it's very, very blue, as you can see, and that happens naturally because all the colors are being absorbed that are shining into it, except blue, which is being reflected back into us. But in addition, the hot springs are really, really hot, and there's very few organisms that are able to survive there. But the further away you get from the source of heat, the more organisms are able to live and survive. And you get something called thermophiles, which are heat-loving organisms. And you'll find them on these bacteria mats that you see over here. The wind noise started getting really bad, so I've deleted the original soundtrack, and I'm doing a voiceover subsequently as we look at the bacteria mats once again. And this is Chinese Spring coming up. It's always so much easier to do a live narration because you can talk about what you're seeing rather than trying to anticipate what you're going to be shown in a video. I'm looking back now at Old Faithful. That was Old Faithful Inn that we saw for a moment, and just coming into view now where you can see that steam coming off, that is Beehive Geyser. Just as Old Faithful is, Beehive Geyser is also a cone geyser. That's Old Faithful Inn again. And there are, broadly speaking, two different sorts of geysers. You've got cone geysers and you've got fountain geysers. A cone geyser is a geyser where the center that has been brought up in the water that has been erupted from the geyser, that builds up over the hundreds and thousands of years and creates a cone, pretty much like an ice cream cone, giving the geyser some direction as it erupts. Whereas a fountain geyser doesn't have a build-up of that center, and it sprays all over the place. So, for example, Great Fountain Geyser on Firehole Lake Drive is a wonderful example of a fountain geyser. You can see that this trail is not particularly long. We started at Old Faithful Lodge, which I'm looking at over there. That's Old Faithful Geyser. Behind it, slightly to the left, is Old Faithful Lodge. And up ahead of me again is Old Faithful Inn. It really is a shame. This was the year that COVID hit America so hard, as well, of course, as the rest of the world. And when we look at Old Faithful, you don't see the flags flying on top. Normally, in a regular year where the inn is open, you'll have the U.S. flag flying, the Wyoming flag, the Montana flag, the Idaho flag. And the reason you've got those three states flags flying is that Yellowstone is actually in 3 states. About 97% of the park is in Wyoming, 2% is in Montana, and 1% is in Idaho. And just next to that swampy sort of ground is the parking lot at Old Faithful Inn. Thank you so much for joining me on another one of our virtual Yellowstone tours. If you enjoy this virtual Yellowstone tour series, please consider giving us a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel. And please also remember, you can see all of our virtual Yellowstone tours at virtualyellowstonetours.com. That's virtualyellowstonetours.com. Thank you, and I hope to see you in Yellowstone.